I want Goku to tell me some real life advice. Edgy T girl. Okay. This is a piece of advice I'm going to repeat until I'm dead probably. And I'm not going to fully flesh it out right now, but Cliff Notes. If you look up self-help advice, if you look up, advice for success, whatever, advice for my early 20s, shit like that, most of the time you will see advice telling you to disregard relationships somewhat, but mainly just to work, right? Mainly to achieve a lot so that you can chill in your 30s. I'm going to offer not a counter to that, but just something that is often ignored on the side of this. And if you've been watching the stream for a long time, you already know what I'm going to say. Get friends. Get good friends, okay? More important, in my opinion, than grinding the fuck out of yourself in your 20s is actually making friends. Now, you can be grinding and make friends. You can already have friends and just maintain them while you grind. But if you don't have any fucking friends, make fucking friends. Okay? Making friends is inherently forced, okay? We often say when things feel forced, that's like instantly a bad thing, right? To an extent. The problem is that new social interactions, meeting new people, always, 99% of the time, feels forced at the start, okay? You want to push through and force the relationship at the start and then see if it becomes more easy as you go on, all right? See if, because that's the whole point, right? It has to feel forced at the start because otherwise everyone would just be friends with everyone, you know what I mean? But if you persevere and you see through it, that you basically like force testing this social connection, it should become more, easy, right? It should become like kind of just buttery, right? Smooth, natural, right? Meeting new people is not meant to be natural. It is inherently kind of forced. But being with friends should feel somewhat natural. There's a lot of people who have friends, but actually they just have a bunch of friends of circumstance. They have coworkers where they're kind of forced to be friends. If you feel like you're forcing yourself to hang out with people who are actually your friends, you might not actually be their friend. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, put in a conscious effort to meet new people and make good friends. Keep in mind, this is important. Make good friends for you, okay? Whatever that means. Now, good friends means people who won't fuck your life up. Good friends means people who won't negatively influence you. Good friends means people who you can trust, right? Be discerning about who your new friends are, all right? But don't be like fucking Hamza and have a list. Like, oh, my friend needs to be an entrepreneur. My friend needs to be 5 foot tall. My friend needs to be uglier than me. My friend needs to be into gaming. You know what I mean? Be open to just fucking getting to know a new person. Like someone that is not like some ideal. It's just like an unknown that you're kind of like learning, right? Some of the best friends that I have are people I don't have a lot in common with, okay? Because we can compare notes, and it's kind of interesting when we talk because it's like every angle that we're, everything that we're talking about is kind of like foreign to the other person, so they're actually interested, you know what I mean? But that being said, it's also good to have friends who you have common things to talk about with, right? It becomes easier to maintain when you have things in common, of course. But yeah, no, that's, again, one of the luckiest things for me. I'm so lucky that this came naturally to me, is having like lifelong friends. There are people our age, like early 20s, that do not have any friends, much less lifelong, like since they were kids friends, you know what I mean? So yes, you need to have friends, bro, because the worst thing that can happen is basically just to not have fucking friends. Even if you are grinding for success in your early 20s, if you don't have fucking friends that whole time, by the time like you're successful now or whatever, then it's harder to get good friends when you're already successful, in my opinion. Okay? It's harder to make good friends when you are already at that top because you don't know if they like you for you or they like you because you're successful or whatever. And on the bottom hand of that, much worse, and sometimes the more likely scenario, is if you do grind throughout your fucking 20s, which I'm not against, but if you do grind in your 20s and you don't manifest, you don't achieve anything, you might be friendless and not have a fucking achieved very much, right? Friends can be very good for grounding you, bro. Friends can be very good for improving your life, feeling like people give a shit. They can surprise you sometimes, okay? And of course, maybe they'll fuck you over. Maybe there'll be negatives. Nobody's perfect. Be empathetic with your friends, but if they're totally scumbags, yeah, it makes sense to distance. But sometimes people surprise you in a positive way, okay? So, yeah, don't be too cynical about friendship. That shit, you need to force it, and yeah, that's basically it. That's the advice, all right? Big fucking problem nowadays. Not a lot of people have friends. Edgy T girl. So this fucking idiot asks me for some life advice right now, and the first thing they say is just all caps racism. I ought to fucking slap you in the mouth. Oh, and then she says this is good advice. You're welcome. Next. All right. Are you being ageist? I said I'm in my 30s, so correct. Am I being ageist? No. Fuck no. You can be in your, bro. 20s and 30s are basically the same. It's just like, if you're in your 20s, obviously, you are viewed as more like, it's like more acceptable to not have your shit together in your 20s. But like, bro, I'm not going to judge you if you're in your 30s and you don't have your shit together. It's pretty hard to get your shit together. But I will judge you if you're not trying to get your shit together. Like if you're not trying to do anything, you know what I mean? That doesn't even mean that you need to necessarily be on top of your shit. It's just like you gotta, try. You gotta fucking try in life a little bit. Anyway, I want Goku to stab me with his nose and live afterwards. Thanks, Edgy T girl. I'm so glad that you came here looking for advice.